Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here and welcome to another awesome online battle on 3rd Age Total War. Today we have a battle in the mountains. One side is the Dwarves and Arnor, and up against them trying to claim these mountains from their rightful owners, the Dwarves, is the High Elves and the Sylvan Elves with a ton of archers, a ton of spearmen. It should be a really good battle. It may be a little bit grindy, I'm not too sure. I haven't watched it yet because I want to be as surprised as you guys are onto who to win, because obviously this mountain, there's quite a few choke points and stuff like this. You know, there's probably going to be, a few contested areas in this battle, but overall it should be really awesome. And again, I just love watching Lord of the Rings just play out in front of my eyes. I'm so excited for Rise of Mordor. Whenever that does come out, who knows, but when it does, you guys know that I will be hitting that game hard for sure. So many battles, it will be awesome. But yeah, this replay was given to me by Apollo, so I really appreciate that. He gets so many emails every single day with battle replays and he can't cover them all, so I asked him if he could give me some, and that was really cool. But if you guys want to send me in your own replays, then make sure just to send them into the email address in the description down below, and you might find your battle up on my channel, because I definitely want to do a ton more 3rd Age on my channel. You guys are showing so much love for it at the moment. And if you want to see more 3rd Age, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and also drop a comment down below, as it lets me know that you guys are enjoying this type of video, because I definitely enjoy making these type of videos, because Lord of the Rings is just the best, the best in the entire world. So yeah, as I was saying, we have Arnor and the Dwarfs on one side. We'll run through their army comps really quickly. This is a fairly longish battle, so we have enough time just to slow it down and kind of run through everyone's army comps. So we'll start off with Arnor first. So to begin with, we have the Arnor Knights. Again, I love their shoulder plates. They look so awesome. A really nice unit. So we have one unit of Arnor Knights here. Then as we push over here, we have 2 units of Arnor Pikemen. One moving up as we speak. The other one is stationary for now. I guess maybe protecting the rear or something. As well as that, we have 2 units of Arnor Heavy Missile Archers. These guys are going to be going up, but I don't really think they're going to be doing too good against the heavy Elven archers, that's for sure. The Elves definitely have the range advantage in this battle. Then moving back to the more elite units of Arnor, we have 3 units of these dismounted Dunedain Knights. Again, they just look fucking amazing. Really nice. I love the way the armor shines as well, it just glistens in the sunlight. Really cool. Not that there is much sunlight, it's raining in the mountain today. So he has 3 units of them, and he's kind of positioned them really nicely so that he can't be getting shot by the Elven archers, which I'm sure are going to be shooting him. Then behind that, he has some battle-ready Dunedain. Damn, Arnor have some really nice infantry. Battle-ready Dunedain and dismounted Dunedain Knights. It's going to be pretty brutal for the Elven player for sure. As well as that, he does have some units of his, I guess less armoured, but still potent nonetheless. Some Arnor men-at-arms back here. And then finally, he has 3 units of these Dunedain Rangers, a really nice missile force. Then the Dwarven player supporting the Arnor player in the rear, he has 2 units of these Axemen of Erebor. Again, I know from Tug of War and past experience, these Axemen are pretty good at armor piercing. They can definitely break the Elven spear line for sure. Then he has a unit of Iron Guard, an insane melee unit, and then just another unit of Dwarven Halberdiers. Bit slow, but it can definitely hold its own in melee combat. Then we have the Guards of Khazak Doom. These guys have like 24 melee defense, I think. So, these dudes are not going down without a fight. I remember in my Tug of War, these dudes led me to victory. And just look how awesome their masks look as well. That just looks sick as the Dwarves march into battle. You've got to love the Dwarfs and their mighty armies. And then we have like a bunch of these Dragon Slayers. Again, another really potent unit. A general unit over here, some Dwarven Noblemen. Then we have some Vault Wardens. It looks like he hasn't brought any of the upgraded pikemen. Or maybe these are the Vault Wardens are them. I thought they were Iron Guard, but actually Iron Guard I think are actually an infantry unit. So he has brought some of the upgraded pikemen. Then he also has some more Iron Guard. That's the unit I was thinking of, which is actually a melee unit. So the Dragon Slayers, Iron Guard, and the Guards of Khazak Doom are really good top tier infantry. So this Dwarven player is definitely packing. He's ready to defend his homeland. Then he also has 2 units of these Dwarven crossbowmen. I guess he's going to try and just protect the rear of the force and really make a push up to the north of the mountains. Then if we look at the High Elf player, you can see he has 1 unit of heavy cavalry over here pushing. This is, if the Dwarven player abandons his crossbows, this cavalry has a clean shot into them for sure. Then up here, he has a bunch of these Elder... Well, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, actually. I attempted to, but, just these Elven heavy archers, really solid infantry. Then, again, some more Elven heavy spearmen. The Smiths, the Smiths look so good. This is such a really nice, unique unit, which you don't really see, you know, like seeing this for every unit will be every single faction. It's kind of cool, you know, it's just something very different. Some more Elven heavy spears, Elven heavy swords, some Mithlon nobles, so a pretty good melee infantry unit. That's pretty much it for the high elf player. He also has some soldiers which are coming around the back of the mountains to resupply the high elf player, or the Sylvan elf player. He has some of his cavalry. And I think he's sending maybe a few more units up here to the north as well. So then, if we look at the High Elf player, you can see that he has a bunch of Sylvan Heavy Spears. He has a ton of Forest Wardens, along with the rest of his High Elf, his Sylvan Elf warriors. Just a whole mix of this. I mean, if the Arnold player had like a catapult, imagine hitting the middle of this bulk. Then he also has 4 units of the Sylvan Heavy Archers, which are currently volleying. And then protecting them, he does have 2 units of these Spear... these Sylvan Elf heavy spears, which I guess are going to be mainly focused around holding this choke point. I mean, it's a pretty good 300s kind of choke point to hold. I mean, the Arnold player, if he just pushes enough missiles into here, he can probably break it. But it's going to be an awesome clash. Weight of numbers is definitely going to have to pay an issue. And I think the battle's actually already started. So as well as that, the Sylvan Elf player, I guess, could deploy some men up here as well. And it has actually deployed, I think, 2 units. 1 unit of heavy archers, and I think 2 units of heavy spearmen off on this little ridge. You know, he can't really get down from this ridge anywhere. I don't think there's any distance he can actually get down. So the fact that he's deployed 2 units up here is going to be interesting. If the good players are, I mean, or I guess if the Dwarven players kind of see this, they can kind of kill off, you know, a small portion of the Elven players' army already straight off the bat. So let's get started into this battle. I'm really excited to see what this is going to, what this battle's going to be like, because as I said, I haven't watched it. The guy said in the replay that it's super, super close, so I am excited nonetheless. So I guess the first bit of engagement is over here. The Arnold player threw in his heavy knights to try his best to jump onto these archers, which kind of looks like a suicide mission to me. It looks like he's committed to silence these archers when he didn't really need to. He could have just slowly moved up some infantry and got onto these guys. Because really, I don't think these archers are going to be defeated. So he's pretty much just committing his unit of heavy cavalry, which can be very, very useful elsewhere, into this battle. You know, they're routing now, and not much has really been achieved. You know, he's killed a few of these guys, but not really. However, this has allowed him to kind of break the High Elf player's formation. You know, the High Elf player, I assume, was going to plan on holding this choke point right here, but because of this cavalry, it's now opened up this huge gap where he can pour more infantry through and get onto these archers. So even though he did kind of lose this really expensive, heavy, you know, really good, expensive unit, it has also kind of not been completely bad for him, because there's huge gaps he can now get around to actually silence these archers. Whereas if he didn't commit that unit of cavalry, I imagine the Elven player would have just formed a strong line of infantry and kind of prevented the archers from getting hit. If we look down here as well, we can see that the Dwarven player has actually left his crossbowmen by themselves, and the High Elf player is going to pounce on this. They are going to have to receive a volley from the dwarfs though, and if they can make it through this hellstorm of crossbow bolts, they can get onto easy pickings for the cavalry, and I think they have. So they're going to push on, moving on, avoiding the spikes, and then charging into the exposed sides of the Dwarven crossbowmen. However, these Dwarven crossbowmen are not easily defeated. Every dwarf is okay in melee combat. So, you know, if this was like an orc unit, they would rip through them, but it's not just an orc unit, even though the dwarfs are getting pretty slaughtered right now. I'm not going to lie. They have kind of abandoned them to torment and death, and they've pushed further up the hill. He has formed a pretty nice square rear box here that looks really cool with the halberds, with some dragon slayers in their back. I guess he's just giving up these crossbowmen and just leaving them to their doom. I mean, if they can keep on supporting, then who knows. The High Elf player is moving his entire army, rushing it around the side. So this is going to be an intense fight. The dwarfs are kind of boxed in now, and they're going to have to try and fight their way out, which I think they will be able to do. The Sylvan Elf player has pushed on hard over here and is going on to the Arnor pikemen. Wow, I did not even see this happening. This battle was full on. I hope you guys are enjoying this. So yeah, the Sylvan Elf player is pushing on with his heavy Sylvan Elf infantry and the Forest Wardens as well. We have a ton of Elven archers just volleying shot after shot after shot over the top into the exposed, I guess, backs of the dwarves as well. The dwarves are here as now. There's so many pikemen in this little engagement. The Dunedain Rangers are also volleying overhead as well, I guess trying to pick away at the archers of the Sylvan Elves, which is a very smart idea. If we look at this little pocket of resistance now, I think it is going to go the way of the Dwarves and the Arnor. This was a cool idea if he could have got the infantry into a decent formation in time, but, you know, breaking it up with that cavalry, I guess, was a really smart idea, and it allowed them to use their numbers just to completely surround the High Elves, which are no longer really potent in this area. There's a few spearmen left, but I'm sure the dismounted Dunedain Knights will be able to take care of them, especially with the support of the Dwarven axes as well, the Axemen of Erebor who are going to be pouring in, which are a perfect unit to fight this because of their heavy armor. And you can see already they're starting to do a ton of damage, and once this pocket of resistance is done, they can really move their troops elsewhere. The High Elf player is now moving his army into the mountains after overrunning the cavalry. These crossbows must be getting some good kills into the side of these High Elf horses, because they are shooting directly into their side. Yeah, you can see they're killing so many of them. So even though they did lose that cavalry fight, that's not too bad for them, if I'm honest. However, they are going to be punished now as they try and flee for their lives. They're going to be getting cut down by the Mithlon nobles, with also some arrows coming in as well. But the Dwarven player has a pretty sturdy infantry line here. I mean, I wouldn't want to come up against Dragon Slayers and a unit of Dwarven Halberdiers in this formation. And then even once you push through that, you have to get onto the Vault Wardens and more Dragon Slayers and more Iron Guard. It's going to be a brutal push up this mountain. But, you know, it's kind of all dependent whether they can destroy this Sylvan Elf army, or the Sylvan Elf army, before the High Elves push through their rear. I think that's going to be a really telling part of this battle. We have some more Arnor spearmen or pikemen moving up into the flanks of the Sylvan Elves. But I mean, the majority of the pike line seems to be holding right now. They have pushed in some of the men-at-arms of Arnor. You know, they're not really even committing their most elite units, and most of their elite units are over to this side, which are now just about to come around now. Oh my god, so many Dunedain dropping from them heavy archer fire. Damn, that is brutal. I guess they're going to be volleying back, but by the looks of it, oh my god, that's just insane. Yeah, they're really not losing any casualties, where the Dunedain are getting picked apart right now. Look how many dead Dunedain are just laying here. He needs to be focusing down them archers, because his archers are getting focused down, and once the archers are once you lose the archer engagement, the elves can just hold this choke point and just shoot you to pieces. Because this isn't going to be easy to break through for either player, so this is definitely going to be interesting for sure. The pikemen doing an amazing job though. But I guess the Sylvan Archers are not going to be easily defeated. He has now pushed up some dismounted Dunedain Knights from that little pocket of resistance over there, which is going to be really good for him, because they're going to be a really strong unit to push deep into his formation. But the Sylvan Elf player is just, you know, committing more troops where he needs to. His general's sitting in the back giving good commands. The High Elf player is now getting ready to push upon these spearmen. You know, I think something he might do for sure is just sit back, let his archers pick away at this halberd line. Oh, we actually already had an engagement, sorry, my mistake. I thought that was the main line. So that's exactly what he's doing. This is really smart by the High Elf player. He's picking away at the back line and then focusing down this line of halberds. So once he breaks through this, the next line of defense should be a lot weaker, because his archers have been focusing them down. I wouldn't be using fire arrows if I was him, just because normal arrows do more damage, and that's kind of what you need against, you know, Vault Wardens, heavily armored dwarfs. But I'm sure he knows what he's doing for sure. And these High Elf spearmen eventually, I think, will break through here, just because of their sheer numbers. You know, if he can kind of get some men, which he is exactly doing, I was just about to say this, if he can get some men around the flank through this gap now that the formation is a bit broken, that will help out his odds. You can see that's exactly what he's doing. He's running onto the halberd line, getting right around the backs, and this is going to create a really nice encirclement on these dwarfs. But these dwarfs are not going to give up easily. They are mighty warriors. They would rather die than flee from battle. And the engagement is fierce over here. The halberds down, the Dragon Slayers having to be pushed in. The Dragon Slayers will have to earn their name today, especially with the sheer amount of missile fire. He's even committing a unit of Iron Guard. Now this is definitely a questionable decision, whether he wanted to actually just hold back and keep his infantry back in the main line, or push on and push in and try and save some of these units, make these guys hold. So we'll see if this works out for him for sure, because what he could have easily have done is he could have just kind of left these guys to torment and death and just abandon them and just make his backline stronger. Because obviously, I guess at the moment his backline is getting peppered by missile fire. So pushing forward means that it's one less unit the high elf player can shoot at. Damn, that is just insane. This is why the high elves are so good. It's just really hard to defeat them. But you know, the Dwarven player does have 3 units of guards of Khazak Doom up here. So if all goes bad, if all goes south, then he definitely has some really good units to fall back on. If we look back over here as well, we have some more Sylvan Elves pushing on. The Forest Wardens are doing a good job, and there's gaps appearing in this line. For sure, they've definitely made a lot of ground. If we look out, before they were kind of blocked into this gap, but now they are really pushing out. The Dunedain have been slaughtered, and I guess the Dunedain and the heavy archers of Ardnor have been slaughtered. Look at that, so many dead. There's hardly any of them left, and that's going to be pretty huge, I think, for the high elf player. Some of the Ardnor pikemen are actually routing as well. That is brutal. The dwarfs and the Ardnor infantry have pushed on, though. You can see they've actually managed to push back some of the Sylvan Elves. As you can see, the Sylvan Elf dead bodies here. They have managed to push them back a bit, but their line is definitely looking a lot thinner. The Dwarven player might have to commit a lot of his guards of Khazak Doom to resupply this and support it. Because I don't know, one big mass rout could completely wreck them. Because if the Sylvan Elf player can get his archers into a good volley, then he can shoot into the sides of the Dwarven player over here, which is just going to be huge. Because it means the high elf player is just going to have such an easier job of pushing up this mountain. If we go back to the engagement over here, we can watch this fighting unfold as the Iron Guard fight hard and fight true. The archers just shooting volley after volley, going into normal shot now. The Vault Wardens have lost about 20 men, I think, so far. Oh no, they're 2 units of Vault Wardens, damn. Yeah, they're losing a ton of men, and I think he's just having to commit more and more soldiers to this engagement, just so they don't get shot at. So then Vault Wardens are just getting bodied right now, down to 49. Another volley, how many is that going to kill? Another 6 Ds, another 7 Ds every single volley. The Elven player definitely using his strengths to his advantages. And I guess the Dwarven player is using his strengths to his advantage by pushing in as many infantry as possible. If we look at the balance of power right now, it's extremely even. 56% left on either side, or 57 to 58% army compositions left on either side. So it's a super close battle. I don't know what side's going to win. I literally do not know what side's going to win. I feel like the Elven players could easily take this just because of their sheer amount of missiles they have. You know, after Ardnor lost all these Dunedain, I don't know if they have enough, especially now that these Dwarven Axemen are starting to rout. You know, look how much infantry the Sylvan Elf player still has. And all these archers as well. I don't know if the Dwarfs and the Ardnor player has this in them. The guards of Khazak Doom are now involved, and they are fresh. If we hover over them, you can see they're eager. Only a genius could win this battle. I mean, I don't think it's that dire for you yet. The balanced forces evenly. I think that's a lot more likely. But the Ardnor player has been kind of wrecked so far. He does still have a fresh unit of pikemen. Or not, I guess not a fresh unit. There's only 57 of them left. But he's going to be pushing that in, and that's going to help fill the gaps for sure. As he moves in. Yeah, that's going to definitely help him out, because that's going to fill up, you know, any of the holes. And I mean, the guards of Khazak Doom are just so good. Especially because they're fresh and the other Sylvan Elves are pretty tired. I think they're going to be doing okay now. And is that some of them routing, or they're reforming? I think they're just reforming. More Dwarven Halberds. These guys are, yeah, these guys must have routed and come back. But they're going to be filling the gap again. That is no Orkhorn, and you can see that some of the Ardnor soldiers are now routing. That's going to open up a huge gap for the Sylvan Elf player to move forward. The Halberds are going to quickly block that gap, but still, gaps are appearing in the line. Dwarven player is committing as many of his routing troops back to the engagement as quickly as possible. Some more guards of Khazak Doom have had to move up. I mean, I guess the Ardnor player does still have a unit of dismounted Dunedain Knights, which is no small feat whatsoever. Something what the Dwarven player could have easily have done here is got his crossbows up here, and that would have been perfect, you know, perfect shooting down here forming up loose formation with some of his dwarfs, just to try and minimize the casualties. The Elven player, by the looks of it, has just committed everything, and so has the Dwarven player on this side. Has just pushed everything down here. The Vault Wardens, I mean, this is definitely, I think, the smartest move, because all he can do is just sit back and get shot to pieces, which he really doesn't want to happen, so he kind of has to commit everything he has. Because this means that the archers have a really poor shot, and if they do want to volley into this engagement, then they might hit a lot of their own friendly troops as well. I imagine they still have a ton of missiles left as well, so that's not, you can't really rely on that either. You can't rely on the fact that they're going to run out of ammunition soon, because I doubt that's going to be the case. The elves do carry several hundred shots in their quiver. You just take a little like zoom out glimpse shot of that. You can see them pushing hard. It definitely looks like that the high elves do have superior numbers right here. Especially around here, you can see like around this little gap, there's hardly any dwarfs whatsoever. He could overwhelm this formation for sure, if he wanted to. If he saw this gap, I mean, so many of them are routing as well. The fire arrows are definitely, you know, causing a pretty big morale debuff. More Dragon Slayers are pushing in. I think this is actually a fresh unit of Dragon Slayers as well being pushed up. Yeah, I believe it is. So that's gonna help maybe turn the tide. Oh my god, what happened over here? Did they rout? They actually managed to rout them. Wow, that is huge. They actually managed to completely rout the enemy force. I guess the gods of Khazak Doom just struck fear into the Sylvan Elves, so that pushed them completely back. The death, look at how many dead Sylvan Elves are here. Wow, the gods of Khazak Doom are really, really strong, and they're going to be pushing on now, I think. Oh, the Sylvan Elf player is going to fall back, I think, to higher ground maybe. But I don't think there's too many places he can actually escape from. Yeah, he's going to back into a corner for like a famous last stand, but I don't think he needs to do badly. He still has a ton of infantry left, so the fact that he is falling back, I think... The fact that he's falling back is, I think, unnecessary. I feel like he can still push on, because his high elf brother... I mean, I guess he is just waiting on his high elves, because I think the high elves will eventually break through here. They have superior strength, superior numbers, and the fact that, you know, a lot of the soldiers are northwards, I think will actually give them a pretty good advantage. So maybe falling back is the right move for the Sylvan Elf player. Box himself into the corner and hope that they send more men to the engagement so that the High Elf player has time to push forward. Because these archers must be racking up so many kills. But it'd be interesting to see if the dwarves decide to actually push more men into this engagement, because it's going, you know, it is going south for them. A lot of these dwarves are still strong, but some of them are routing. The Vault Wardens especially do not look too strong. It'll be interesting to see what they're doing over here. If they are pursuing the enemy, I think they are pursuing them. The guards of Khazak Doom are going to be advancing in shield wall. Oh, that looks amazing. Forward dwarfs to victory and honor. So they're going to be pushing on, trying their best to move up here as the High Elf player backs himself into a corner. The Sylvan Elf player backs himself into a corner. There is no escape from the mountains. You either fight or you get pushed off, 300 style. And they're going to be advancing. I mean, this is probably the best possible thing, because now the guards of Khazak Doom can really just go to town, and there's no worry for them getting outflanked or anything. And obviously, the Sylvan Elf player has the same, you know, no worries about getting outflanked, but I don't think it was that much of an issue. Balance of power is starting to look like it's going into the Dwarven favor. However, the like sides both have very similar casualties, 73% and 74%. It's actually awesome how close this battle actually is. And again, we'll get some more close-ups for you guys as the arrows go overhead. Pikemen fight hard. Dwarf v elf. Elf v dwarf. I mean, really, I think what's holding this line, if these Vault Wardens break, I think the dwarves will be in a bit of trouble, because, again, just look how few numbers there are compared to the elves. The elves have there's a really good advantage down here. They are resupplying, though, with a fresh unit of Iron Guard. Oh, I mean, I just don't know what side this battle's going to go. I have a feeling that the dwarves are going to win just because the Sylvan Elves have kind of committed and fallen back here. when they really didn't have to, I don't think. You know, they still have like 3 fresh units of, you know, infantry.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
Maybe they just have too many archers or something, but I feel like they could have just easily pushed off. Now they're blocked into a corner. They're actually going to take the initiative and charge onto the unexpected dwarves. Awesome. I like kind of pouncing when the dwarven player was looking elsewhere, waiting for them to form up. It's going to be a hard fight for sure, fighting against these guards of Khazak Doom. I guess they are only Sylvan archers, so the dwarfs are going to be cutting them down maybe. But I mean, I'm sure they are a potent force indeed. But it's going to be a hard fight. To either side, more guards of Khazak Doom coming in to fill the gaps which are left. We also have some Dunedain archers as well. I can't believe how much the Dunedain's got wrecked there. Oh my god, these Arnold pikemen are routing at 57 men. Wow. Really? I was not expecting that. If we go over here... Yeah, look at the engagement. I think it is going south for the... Yeah, they've actually managed to envelop some of these dwarfs. They've managed to break their main line and push onto this iron guard, and now they've actually enveloped them. Oh no. They are going to be in quick supply though, a unit of guards of Khazak Doom coming into the sides of these Sylvan archers. I mean, again, this is a pretty easy matchup for the guards of Khazak Doom. But still, the fact that this iron guard have been enveloped is not going to be too good. Again, I feel like the Dwarven players have this, but it could go either way. One mass rout. I think the fact that the Dwarven player has like his top tier infantry left is definitely going to help him out. But there's quite a few dead dwarfs laying on the floor. That is for sure. Especially because they're kind of getting outflanked a bit as well. Some of these elves have managed to make their way through the battle line and are slicing in on the sides. Dwarfs are not giving up easily. Neither are the dwarfs. You know, around this length of the battle as well, guys, if you do want to send in replays, you know, anywhere between 10,000 and 20,000 up here in the top left is kind of the ideal amount. Anything larger, and I'm probably less inclined to do it, just because I don't want to have a super grindy battle, because this battle has been pretty grindy. The Arnold pikemen have come back, but I think it's been worth it just because it was a really cool close siege battle, or not siege battle, but, you know, pitch battle. The dwarfs are pushing on. They rally to their king. The Iron Guard, I think, if the Iron Guard been defeated? No, the Iron Guard have formed a nice little tight circle. Oh yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Arnor, heavy dismounted knights. The Dunedain dismounted knights are now pushed in. Trying their best to fight through. The flag bearer is trying his best to fight through and give the order to the dwarfs to hold. Reinforcements are on the way. Guards of Khazak Doom are pushing on. The dwarf, the Iron Guard look like they've been slaughtered. Yeah, the Iron Guard did, by the looks of it, did not make it out of that engagement, which is very sad. But the Guards of Khazak Doom will seek revenge for their fallen brothers. I mean, look at the amount of dead just laying in this little choke point here. It's been a brutal battle. We push up over here as well. Again, just seeing the dead laying here as more Dunedain move up to resupply their brothers up, fighting up on this hill. Because again, the Sylvan Elf player has a lot of men left. Like, I feel like he could have just pushed through and maybe helped out his High Elf brother. Because if he was pushing over in the choke point, then maybe the High Elf player wouldn't be coming up against as much as he was, and they would have to commit more men to this little engagement. But I mean, he's doing a good job right now. He's definitely killing a ton of these guards of Khazak Doom. Elfhorn's going out. I feel like the High Elf player just doesn't have much left now. I feel like this is the final bit of fight left the High Elf player has.
The battle is very much in our favour. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Does look like the dwarfs are going to hold their mountains and send this elven army back to whence it came. I think even the dwarven general is moving down as well.
If we remain true and steadfast,
I know Dwarven General is moving
victory
over
will
to
be
this left
ours.
side. I think he knows that he needs to just finish off these High Elves. But the Sylvan Elves, sorry, I've messed that up so many times. Yeah, the Sylvan Elves are pushing out. Again, they just have so many infantry here. I really feel like they could have won this battle. I mean, they could still win this battle, but the balance of power is just looking so much like it is in the Dwarven favour that they are going to claim victory. But I just feel like that this battle could have gone either way, which was so awesome. These are the type of battles I really want. Maybe not as grindy as this, but the fact that it was so close, it is absolutely perfect. I want people to be guessing who's going to win until the bitter end. And don't just send in your wins as well. Be sure to send in your losses as well, just so it keeps people guessing. There's no shame in losing whatsoever. There's the Dwarven King up here. Yeah, the Dunedain. I don't know what the Dunedain are doing. I think they're just chilling out here. I mean, we do still have a fresh unit of dismounted Dunedain Knights, which are moving up. I wonder how much fight that the High Elves have left in them. Not a lot by the looks of it. Yeah, the High Elves are very much gone. They have like none left. We'll speed it up just to watch their demise.
Good tidings.
The general
The enemy
of the High Elf
general
player
lies
is now
dead.
slain
We have
and
set
lies
the
dead on the
battle is very
battlefield.
much in our favour. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
And I think that's going to be it for the High Elves. Yeah, they're routing now. They've somewhat been abandoned by their brothers. The Sylvan Elves just fell back and kind of left these guys to die instead of trying their best to
Enemy
work
army
way.
flees the field. After them, cut the cowards down.
So there's our Dwarven player telling us that the High Elves are now defeated. And now we can just watch this final engagement. As Arnor push up. I think the Dwarven player lost pretty much all of his guards of Khazad-dûm over here, which is interesting. We'll speed up as well just a little bit because it's going to be obviously a bit of a grind fest. And we obviously know that it's just a slow grind. So we'll speed up a bit until we get towards the end of the battle, and then we'll obviously watch the final last stand, because the general's all the way back here as well, so it's going to take forever for him to die. As I just slowly push forward.
The battle is very much in our favour.
Very much
If
in
we
your
remain
favour
true and
indeed.
steadfast,
We'll watch like the
victory will be ours.
last 1,000 points of this battle. As they slowly break through, more and more men just pushing in, fighting hard.
Our men have fought long and are becoming tired.
I mean, of course, they must be exhausted. Cool, let's slow it down now and just watch the final engagement. Now that the High Elf or the Sylvan Elf General has engaged, the Dwarven General, it's actually the unit of Dwarven Nobles, they are just pushing on. I think this is like the last Dwarven unit as well, which is actually in here. Obviously, they have a lot of reinforcements coming their way as well. But I mean, as soon as I guess this is Elrond, as soon as Elrond dies, the battle's going to be over, I think. I can't imagine that the Sylvan Elves can hold for much longer. They are holding the banner high, but that banner is going to be lost. They also have a ton of reinforcements as well coming in from that High Elf engagement. Well, not a ton, but they have some reinforcements, you know, 38 units there. We also have a fresh unit of Arnold Heavy Archers there, which can definitely come up and help if things were to come to it. But by the looks of it, it's not going to have to come to it. And the High Elves are finally going to fall. The General was very wounded. I think he's going down any seconds now. Look at him, he's stumbling around, getting sliced from every side. He's doing a Caesar right now. A few more hits. Yeah, he's getting hit from like 3 people there. 3 people all at once. I think there we have it. I think he's going down any seconds now. 1 or 2 more hits and there we go. And that's going to be it for the Sylvan Elf player. An epic last stand for sure, but it just wasn't enough. And I feel like they definitely could have broken through. But again, I have not played Medieval 2 enough to kind of make like 100% sure analysis of that situation for sure. But it was an awesome battle. If we look at the Dwarven players, see if he got any super amazing amounts of kills. I mean, that's pretty good for the Dragon Slayers, 151 kills. But no one else doing too crazy. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Make sure to drop a like and a comment if you want to see more 3rd Age. And also make sure to send me in more replays that you guys have, so I can actually do more 3rd Age battles. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. And fish out.